Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another webinar from ASAM. We would like to thank everyone who is watching for being so consistent with us. We thank you for joining us again this afternoon. So we would also like to beg for a little more time so that more people can join us and we will start in earnest. My name is Udwak. I'm the HR manager for Otto Stephen Asset Management Limited. Thank you once again for joining our live webinar. Hello, good afternoon once again, and welcome to our live webinar. We are so happy because so many other persons have joined us. And today we shall be talking on a very, very interesting topic, and which is after buying MTN shares, what next? We want to discuss with you what you should expect after buying your MTN shares. So you don't just buy the shares and then it ends there. So to discuss this interesting topic is Mr. Mayowa Boludoko. He's a seasoned research analyst with Steven Asset Management Limited. And he will be supported by Mr. David Olayemi. And we know that you're going to have a wonderful time discussing with them, and then we'll also appreciate your responses and questions after the webinar. Thank you so much and enjoy your session.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello.
Good afternoon. We're here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We are mute. Good afternoon.
Okay. Welcome to this webinar. I'll be handling the first session. Then I'll hand over to my colleague. I'll hand over to my colleague who would finish up with the presentation. So I will be discussing about your MTN shares, what next, and other issues. Okay. So here's our outline for today's session. I would do a brief introduction on the capital structure, recap MTN public offer, talk about the dividend history calculation and relevant calculations. I would give a summary of the financials, their full year 2021, then explain some terminologies that you might have been seeing in our broadcast, and I'll hand over to my colleague who will talk about ASAM E-Trade, which you can use to monitor your trade, buy other stocks aside MTN, or even sell some of your stocks also. So I'm starting off with capital structure. Here is Mr. John. Mr. John is thinking of starting a business, and he basically has two options. Is either he raises personal funds or he decides to borrow. Same thing applies to a corporation, a company. They need money to run their activities. So it's either they raise funds from investors, equity investors basically, or they raise debt. MTN as a company sold out shares, and the shares is a part of ownership. So investing in MTN shares, you are an equity investor and you own part of MTN. On the other hand, debt is borrowing money to finance your business. The people who borrow you money are not owners of the business, and of course, you need to compensate them for borrowing you money, and that's the debt component. So, as an investor, what's your reward? I'll be talking more about your reward as an equity investor since you bought in MTN shares. So, as an MTN, as a shareholder in MTN, you would have two forms of reward, or both in some cases. Is it that you get dividend, or you get capital appreciation, or at times it might be capital depreciation. So the dividend basically is a share of profits. If a company makes profits, what comes to you as a co-owner of the business, that's the dividend. Let me make it simple by saying, if you start a business, the ultimate goal of the business is to make profits, because if you're not making profits, you might most likely not stay in business. Of course, there are so many intricacies to that, but let's keep it simple as saying that if you do not make profits, you might not want to stay in that business anymore. So if you make profits, You need to compensate yourself. And at the same time, you'll be aiming at expanding your business. So if you are aiming at expanding your business, out of the profits, you will reinvest it back into your business so that I can do more. Let's say, for example, you are producing, let's say, bonds. If you are producing bonds, let's say you produce maybe like 200 or 1,000 pieces, and you make some profits, you can decide to reinvest into the business, buy more flour, and produce more bonds. Maybe you are not in at 1,800 to 200. And of course, you need to compensate yourself also. So part of that profit too, you might pay yourself some form of income. And this also applies to a corporation. When a corporation does business, for example, MTN, they make money at the end of the year, what they call profit after tax. MTN wishes to expand, and at the same time, you might also wish to compensate people for investing in them, like you have done. So they will declare what is called dividend, a part of their profit after tax that is to be paid to you as an investor in MTN. On the other hand, we have capital appreciation. Capital appreciation is basically an increase in the value of your shares. For example, now MTN, you bought MTN at 269 naira, and MTN is, as the last time I checked, was trading at 499.50 kobo. That's 199 naira 50 kobo. That means you gain 13 naira 50 kobo. That's price appreciation. So if you decide to sell MTN shares today, you are going to make 13 naira 50 kobo extra of your initial investment of 169 naira per share. So if you decide to borrow a business money, of course, you'll be entitled to a compensation, and that compensation is called interest. Like I explained earlier, as an equity investor, you are entitled to dividend when declared. It's important to pay rapt attention to the word when declared. When declared simply means that it's not mandatory for the company to always declare dividend every year. So some years they might decide not to declare dividend. They might decide to keep all the old profits in the business for expansion. At times, they might decide not to declare dividend. Probably, of course, if they make a loss, they might not also declare dividend. They might have other investment opportunities. So at times, the company might not declare dividend, and at times the company might declare dividend. But the good news is that over time, MTN got listed, they've always declared dividend year in, year out. And we would see a slide that talks about that subsequently. So, like I explained earlier, dividend is a share in the net profit of a business. So I'm going to be running through the summary of the offer, just a quick reminder of what actually transpired last December. Here's a summary of the offer. MTN Group offered 575 million shares to Nigerians, and it kept 90% to retail investors. Retail investors are basically you and I. People who do not buy huge volumes. You and I are retail investors. And the opposite of that is what we call the institutional investors. So institutional investors are companies who have access to large pool of funds. Take, for example, your pension fund or your insurance company, they have access to large pool of funds. So they call them institutional investors. So in the last offer, MTN reserved 90% of the total shares being offered to the public to retail investors, and 10% went to the institutional investors. So the incentive basically was, if you buy 20 shares, you get one bonus share, and it is capped at 250 shares. So I would explain more on what I mean by capped at 250 shares using an example. Here is a summary of the offer. So I have two hypothetical investors, investor A and investor B. So investor A bought in the public offer 1,000 units at the unit price of 169 naira. And it cost him 169,000 naira in total. Please note that commissions are not applied because it's a public offer, and that's why the total cost is 169,000. In the end, since he bought 1,000 units of MTN shares, if you divide that by 20, because the incentive here is get one bonus share for every 20 shares. So bought 1,000 shares, we divide that 1,000 by 20, he gets 50 bonus shares. So in the end, investor A has a total of 1,050 units of MTN shares as a result of the bonus shares he got. For investor B, he happens to have enough more financial muscle, so he decided to purchase 10,000 units, and that was worth 1.69 million. In the end, he purchased 10,000 shares divided by 20, which is the minimum number of shares that would ascertain the number of bonus shares you will get. So he has 500 bonus shares. However, it would be credited only 250 shares because it is capped at 250. Capped at 250 simply means that with whatever volume you buy, the maximum bonus share you can have is 250. So capped at 250 simply means the maximum is 250 shares. So there's something very important at the bottom. We have note that only investors who hold the shares for 1 year will be entitled to the bonus share. Let me expatiate on the word hold. What I mean by the word hold simply means that I keep the shares. I'm not selling the shares. I keep it for 1 year. If I can keep the share for 1 year, then I would have access. I would have the bonus credited to me. So if I start to sell before 1 year, I don't get any bonus. And in MTN's interpretation of 1 year, you need to keep the share up to 31st January 2023. You must keep the share up to 31st January 2023. So here's a summary of the offer as published by MTN. They offered 575 million shares, and in the end, the total subscription, people wanted to buy 201 million. And from their discretion, they decided to allot, decided to sell more than what they bargained for, and they allotted 661 million shares. So please note that all retail investors were allotted to, but some institutional investors were rejected. Here to my right is the shareholdings in MTN. So MTN Nigeria is owned by MTN Group. They have the major stake in MTN Group. Before the public offer, they had about 79% of the stake in the company. And at the end of the public offer, they had 75% stake in the company. This data is published by MTN. We saw something very interesting also with the launching of the primary offer app. We saw a lot of people under 40 using the app to subscribe for shares. People who never participated in the capital market before participated during the public offer. And you can see that 85% of total people who applied using the primary offer app are young people under the age of 40. And to my right, we saw massive participation from the women. And from digital applications, the women dominated. They accounted for 76% of the total applicants using the primary offer app. The primary offer app is the app they used for the public offer. So yeah, here is a summary. I will just quickly talk to the salient, the most important points here. So a total number of 226,720 investors, retail investors participated, and all were fully allotted. All were fully allotted simply means that all the people who applied as retail investors got the shares. They gave them the shares. They didn't reject any shares at all. They didn't reject them from owning any shares at all. That's the meaning of fully allotted to. So we also have 428 million bonus shares allotted, marked for people who hold the shares up to January 31st, 2023. Then we have some important concepts here. We have qualification, the closure date, and payment date, which I will speak to in a subsequent slide. And for people who bought MTN shares, like I said earlier, we talked about price appreciation as a reward for investing in a company. As at February 1st, 2022, they've gained 19.82%. So if you do a simple computation or calculation from your end. If you look at the price as at February 1st, divided by the price you enter the market, subtract 1 from it, and take it and express as a percentage, you have 19.8. So the amount 169 you invested has grown by 19.82%. Okay, so another important point is saying that you are eligible to the final dividend declared. So the final dividend of 8 naira 57 kobo declared, since you participated in the public offer, you are eligible for a dividend. So right now, thinking of registering for dividend payment. We'll speak to that in our subsequent slide also. So MTN did fantastically well in 2021, full year. That's why I have part for FY, that's full year 2021. MTN recorded 298 billion naira in profit after tax. So after removing all the expenses and taxation, they recorded 298.65 billion, and that is 45%, about 46% growth from their previous results in 2020. Then from our own end, we feel, in our opinion, we believe that MTN shares would at some point sell for 224 naira, based on the fact that the management is looking into huge diversification. They are diversifying their revenue stream. They're not just thinking about one revenue stream, maybe data, voice, or their core revenue stream. They're thinking about other revenue streams. And we saw them obtain the PSB license. So the PSB license is the payment service bank, just like we have on 9mobile. We have 9mobile payment service bank. So MTN got the license and approval in principle for a payment service bank. So you see them doing some of these financial inclusion. You see them driving financial inclusion in the coming months in this new year. So we believe that will really impact revenue, and revenue is most likely to grow. And of course, if revenue grows, the investor sentiment towards the stock will be positive, and in turn impact the share price. So this is a brief history of the dividend MTN has paid and a little calculation. So we've seen that MTN has always been paying is a dividend paying firm. Let me put it in that way. In 2019, so MTN paid a total dividend of 7 naira 92 kobo, and as at 2021, it has increased to 13 naira 12 kobo. You can see beneath my chart, my graph, that we have two important divisions there. We have the interim dividend and the final dividend. So let me quickly speak to the interim dividend and the final dividend. So the interim dividend is the dividend paid in the course of the year. So they've not closed their books for the year, they've not finished operation for the year, but they've made some profit in the year, and they felt that, our owners can benefit from this profit. We are confident enough that we can pay some money to our owners, our shareholders, and that's the interim dividend. They've not finished operations for the year, but they are confident enough that what they've made in the course of that year, they can pay some out as dividend. That's the interim dividend. And the final dividend is they've closed the account for the year. They've closed the account for the year, so they are now declaring dividend for the whole year. After they've ended operations for that year, they now cut it twice to pay dividend, and that's what they call the final dividend. So please note, it's very important for you to note here that you are not entitled to the interim dividend because it has been paid already in the course of 2021, but you are entitled to the final dividend. Because some people might be wondering that, okay, from the chart here, I can see 13.12, 13 naira 12 kobo, and I got paid 8 naira 57 kobo. Why? So you are not entitled to the interim dividend. You are just entitled to the final dividend. However, maybe in the course of 2022, if they declare dividend, then you might be, if they declare interim dividend, you will be entitled to that interim dividend. So here is just a little computation. Total dividend grew year on year by 18.70% in 2022, and 2021 by 39.57%. Just a computation comparing what it is now and what it used to be. So the summary of all is that MTN is a dividend paying company, and their dividend has been increasing over time. So here's just an explanation of the dividend payment. So somebody bought 1,000 units of shares and is paying 8 naira 57 kobo per share. So the total amount that we paid in dividend rather is 8,570. The same thing applies to somebody who bought 10,000 units of shares. So I'll quickly run through the financials. So here we can see that MTN recorded a gross earnings. So gross earnings is basically the total revenue. And the total revenue was about 1.6 trillion compared to 1.3 trillion in the previous year. Revenue grew by 22.87. And you can see profit after tax grew by 45.53%, like I stated in the previous slide. So here is the revenue mix. Where does MTN make money from? They make money from voice, data, SMS, and digital, and some other sources of revenue. And majorly, voice is the main source of revenue for the company. Here is a summary of their total asset. You can see their total asset grew by 48%, more than 48% in the previous year, whereas the cash and bank balance reduced and the shareholders fund also increased. So I'll quickly run through the terminology before I hand over to my colleague to tell you how you can monitor your shares and how you can buy more MTN shares or other stocks in the market. One of the first terminologies I've talked about is dividend. I already explained that a dividend is a distribution of cash or stock to a class of shareholder in the company. So it's either they pay you cash or they pay you stock, but the good news for MTN is that they are paying you in cash. So CSCS, we've seen CSCS number on the group chat more often than not. CSCS is basically Central Securities Clearing System. So they deal with this depository clearing, settlements, and delivery services. I would speak more to some part of this in the next slide. So here is CSC. Here is a CSCS statement. So let me hover my mouse. So here is your account number, and here's your CHN number. So your CSCS account is just where your shares are credited, just like your bank account. If someone wants to send you money, they pay into your bank account, they credit your bank account. So for your stock also, they credit your CSCS account for your investment. Probably you buy shares or bond, or you buy equity instrument, that's shares, or you buy debt instrument, maybe bond and rest of them, credit it to your CSCS account. And your clearinghouse is just like a counterparty, ensuring that the transaction is successful. It's just a central party, an intermediary that ensures that the transaction is successful. If you are selling your MTN shares is not going it's not going off the market. As you are selling, someone else is buying. So they are ensuring a smooth transition. So here is the registrar. The registrar is just an organization that keeps the record of shareholders of the company. And for MTN, the registrar is Coronation Registrars. And okay, so qualification date, closure date, payment date, and AGM. So qualification date is the date in which shareholders who own shares of this, shareholders who own these stocks, as at this, before this date, would be entitled to dividend payment. Qualification date basically is the date in which shareholders who own shares before this particular date will be eligible for dividend payment. So if you don't meet the qualification date, you might not be eligible for dividend payment. Your name has to be on the company, on the register as a shareholder before this date, before you can be entitled to dividend. And closure date is the period where the register will close the books. They will not make adjustments to the register anymore. So as to facilitate payment of dividend. Then payment is the date you get credited with the cash dividend. Then AGM is the annual general meeting where shareholders meet. Some of the reasons why for holding general meet AGM is to give an account of the stewardship and of course approve proposed dividend. So here is your mandate form. Some people have filled this. So this is just a sample of the mandate form, and instruction telling them to find them that you want to be paid dividend. So at this juncture, I will be handing over to my colleague who will be talking about asymmetry. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, Mayowa. And that was a wonderful presentation from our research manager. And this time around, I believe that so many of us had a lot of questions that we have been asking about MTN. How do I access my shares? My name is Olayemi David. I'm the one in operation and IT. So I will be talking to us on how to access your shares. But before we move on, I want to know if you are really following us. I would like to hear from one or two people if all what have been said was well understood. Hello. Hello. Hello.
I think it was well understood. I think we can go on, and then if we have further questions at the end of the session, then we can ask.
Okay, thank you very much. So now I would like to share my own screen now, because I will be taking you through how you can use our platform, AutoStevin, to do your trading. That's where I am taking you to now. How you can use our platform, AutoStevin, to do your trading. So having said that, I would like to share my screen. And I would like to go to our website, that is www.autostevinonline.com. That is our website where you can open an account. I believe that many of us have idea of this before, and many of us has already opened an account through this www.autostevinonline.com. Now, when Mayowa was talking, Mayowa was really told us about CSS account number. And when you're talking about CSS account number, that's the account that has been created for you with CSCS. But there is unique number that also will be generated for you in our in-house AutoStevin here. Some are three-digit number, some are 4-digit number. So those numbers are your own in-house number with us here. As you can see on the platform where I am now, this is the number of somebody, 3954, 3954. So if I should log on into this account now, I will be able to have access to this account. I will be able to have access to this account. So once I click on sign in, but before I go to that, I would like to tell you that if you already have this number, because at the point of registering with us, some of you registered online, and immediately after your registration, a mail was sent to you that your account had been created, and 4-digit number was attached to that mail that was sent to you. If you have that 4-digit number, and I see that some of you are still asking, oh, please, can I have my login details? Can I have my login to the assignment? No, you don't even need to ask us for login details again. All you need to do is to take your 4-digit number, go to forgot password on our platform. Go to forgot password on our platform, then enter your 4-digit number there and click on submit. Once you do this, it will send a password to your email, the email you submitted with us. It will send password to it, and you can use the password to log in into your account. You can use the password to log in into your account. So right now, I'm logging into this account because I have access to this account. So as I log in, you can see access to, once you have done that, and when you are trying to log in, if you're logging in for the first time, the system will ask you to change your password. It is very important. When you are changing your password, make sure that you use both cap lock and small lock with symbol. What did I mean by cap lock, small lock with symbol? Some people, they just use ordinary, so, for security reason, when you are using, if your name is David, this should start with capital letter, then the other figure should be small letter. Why? You can add a symbol like @ hash or dollar down to it. Then with number, it can be number 1, it can be number 2 to 10.
So it must be a combination of all these numbers. It must be at least minimum of 7 to 8. It must be minimum of 7 to 8 when you are doing that. Because many people are trying to log into their account. They said that they could not, that the system logged them off because they did not follow the instruction that the system gave to them. So that's why I'm saying this to you, that whenever you are trying to log in, make sure that you have written down your password. What you have written down is the combination of alphabet, number, and symbol. Alphabet, number, and symbol. Now I'm on AutoStaging platform now. From this platform, you can see what you have in your account. You can trade anywhere you are. You can do anything you want to do on your account. Take, for instance, if I want to see what I have in this account now, I can go to portfolio and click portfolio holding. Once you click on portfolio holding, you can see what you have in your account at a particular point in time. You can see it. Then you can go home then to check. Then if you want to trade, you can trade from your account. Then you can also deposit fund. You can deposit fund by clicking on deposit fund. You can use Flutterwave for your deposit. That means that you must have your ATM card with you. And then you put the amount of money you want to deposit, click on transfer cash, and use your ATM with your OTP to transfer the fund. The fund will hit your account immediately, rather than paying into a bank account that you need to call the accountant and say, please post my money. That is also fine, but for you to have your money with immediate effect, you just need to, you can use Flutterwave to move money into your account. So right now, I will be talking about how to trade, how you can trade your stock. Because people have been asking me, we want to sell our MTN, you could not sell. What is the problem? What is happening? You can sell your MTN at any time. You can sell your MTN at any time. All you need to do is go to trade. Once you click on trade, then you click on trade. Once you click on trade, it will give you a platform whereby you can do your trading. Now on this platform, you see where they wrote action. This action is telling you either you want to buy or sell. You can either buy or sell, either of the way. So if you want to buy, you click on buy. Then from the symbol, you must select what you are buying. You must select what you are buying. Take, for instance, if what you are buying is MTN, you just type M. By the time you type M, it will take you to all the M symbol, and you look for MTN, click on it. Then it will show you the price at which MTN is trading currently, which means that MTN is trading at 199.8 currently. All you need to do is just put the amount of the unit you want to buy. Then you can also set a price limit. You can see it's trading at 199.8. Then you can set a price limit that, no, I want to buy this stock at 195. Now, when you are setting your limits, I want you to know that your trade will go into the market, but you will not be supplied because you are buying below what the market price is. It will only queue till when you will see somebody that want to supply at that amount. You only queue until you see somebody that wants to supply at that amount. And you can see now, if you look at it, because the market has already closed, there's no live trading. Maybe next time when you are joining us, you will do it at the time that market is trading. As soon as you join us at the time that market is trading, that means that you see the top bid, how much people are willing to buy. That's the bid. That's how much they bidded for. Then when you see top offers, that means that how much people are willing to sell. I think that it is between 10 and 2:30, you will be seen as the trade is going on live. You see everything, we're showing you everything categorically. But now we cannot do any trading. So if you are setting a price limit and you are putting it here, I'm buying it at 195 naira. That means that you can also set a limit date that this thing can carry on till on the 25. That means that every day the system will continue to mandate your order until it gets to that price. And if it doesn't get to that price until the 25, the system will cancel the order. That is for the case of buy. Then after I haven't done that, you just click on preview your order. Now I want you to take note that if you don't have money in your account, you cannot buy shares. You can see what the system just told me now, that the money this person has in his account exceed what he wants to buy. So it will cause the trade to be overbought by 70,000. So, and this transaction will not be saved. That means that the system will automatically cancel the transaction because there's no money in the account. You don't have any money in the account. The same thing goes with sales. What you don't have, you cannot sell it. What you don't have, that's why I said that you first of all go to your portfolio holding. You check of portfolio holding and see what you're having. Then, having said that as well, when you are clicking on the investment platform, you must always check. When you click on trade, when you click on trade, you must always check to be sure that your account number that was given to you, CSS account number, what you are going to see there is your CSS account number. You must always check to be sure that the CSS account number given to you is equal to, is the same thing with what you have on your trading platform. So that maybe one officer has not made mistakes on your account. You have to check properly to be sure. Take for instance, you can see this is where the CSS account number is. This is your customer ID. Why this is the CSS account number. You check it and check it with what you have. You have the alert that you got earlier to see if the number is the same thing with what you have. So if it is not the same thing, you can quickly call on the auto-saving customer service and tell them that, oh, sorry, what I am getting here is not what I have on my statement. Please, could you please check and reconcile? So we quickly look at it and quickly reconcile our book. So it's very important for you that you check. And another thing I want you to know is that the investment is what you should monitor on daily basis. Don't just log in once in a 3 months. You can buy any other stocks apart from MTN. We have different type of stocks that you can buy from our platform. Anyone you want to buy, all you need to do is just to log in into your platform. Once you log into your platform, go to the symbol. Once you get to the symbol, get any stock you want to buy. Take for instance, I want to buy FBN. I want to buy FBN. Just type in FBN and to show me the price at which FBN is trading. Then you can put in how many units you want to buy. FBN as at now close at 11.40. It goes at 11.40. You can put how much you want to buy and you click on preview order. By the time you preview your order, and you click on send. That means that you go. Once you click on, let me assume that I'm buying 10 units. Now, let me just assume that I'm buying 10 units. Once I click on preview order, if there's money in your account, it will show you how much that will cost you. How much it's going to cost you. You can look at it now. That is this thing is going to cost me 106.10. So if I say I'm okay with it, just click on submit. Once you click on submit, it will show that it has gone to the market. And how do you know if it has gone to the market? You will come to where we call trade history. Once you click on the trade history, you'll be able to see all your trades that have gone so far. If it has been executed or it has not yet been executed, you will know. Once you go to trade history will show you if your trade, take for instance, this is the trade that is being done for this time. It shows me that the executed order are this. But if peradventure you did not see that the trade, that you discover that the trade did not go, I mean that something must be wrong. You can go and check on the open order. Open order are the order that you have sent that are not yet executed, but they are still pending. Take for instance, when you put price limits, it will be in the open order. As there's no any open order here, it will be in the open order pending the time that there will be a price that will match the amount that you want to trade that particular stock or that you want to buy that particular stock. So it will remain in open order till when the time lapse. Take for instance 25 minutes, the 25 that you put. Then if you did not see it in the open order, I mean that the stock might have been rejected for one reason or the other. If you click rejected order, it will show you and it will tell you the reason why it was rejected. Peradventure, maybe your price is higher, or maybe your price is lower than what it is trading, and the system decided to cancel it or reject it. So it will tell you the reason why your stocks are being rejected or cancelled. So you can check from those ends to know if your stock has gone. And if you are in the open order, you can see if it is in the market, you will know it is open to the market. If it is not open to the market, I mean, it didn't go to the stock exchange. I mean, it's still hanging somewhere. So at that, you can quickly call the customer service and say, please, I placed an order and I cannot see it in open order, but it's not in reject order. I don't know what is happening. What happened? I cannot see it in the market. So it must be in the market before your trade can be executed. So those are the things that you need to you need to know. And I want you to know that on a monthly basis, we train our clients on how to be perfect on the use of ASAM E-Trade. So this is a kind of introduction for you today on how to use ASAM E-Trade. Lastly, before I will open the line for questions. So there's also what we call profiles. You can check your profile to see what your name is, your name, your phone number, your email address, if they are correct. If they are not correct, you quickly tell us so that we can do a change for you. So these are the things that you need to know about ASAM E-Trade and how to access your stock. Thank you very much. So you can ask your question now. If you have question, you can begin to ask your question. Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay. Please, you mention your name. Would you like to take your question now?
Hello, my
Yeah.
name is Ebehi. So if I want to buy more of the MTN shares now, like I just have to go to this platform and buy additional units.
Any of the stock. Once you click on trade, you can have access to any of the stock you want to have access to. Just mention the name. Once you mention the name, just click on the symbol. The symbol will show you all the stocks traded on the stock exchange.
And it will reflect with my previous one that I bought before.
Yes, it will reflect. For instance, you have 10 units before, and you are buying more 200 units. If you add it to what I bought, now be 210 in your account.
Then this webinar, will this recorded version be sent to the WhatsApp group so that we can, in case we want to go to the trading platform, because like everything is just
the trading online.
No, this platform now, like when we want to operate it, like we just need to go through it again, like see how.
Okay, are you talking of the webinar?
Yeah, this webinar, yes.
So we are going to do that immediately after now. So on YouTube, you can also access it on YouTube using the link.
Okay, thank you.
Some people are watching it live on YouTube now.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Another person, please.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Okay, I'll go after you then.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Well, I didn't buy these MTN shares when the thing was there. Can I possibly get to buy now? Because I'm really interested.
Yes, sir. Do you have an account with Dr. Steven, sir?
No.
Okay, you can go to our online platform, www.stevenonline.com, and create an account. Within 24 hours, an account will be generated for you. You can trade it anywhere you are yourself. So you can give us your phone number, just drop it on the platform.
Okay.
And your email.
All right. Thank you.
Are you on any of our WhatsApp link?
No, really. Brother just introduced this something to me.
That's a good one. You are very welcome.
Thank
we
you
are here
very
to
much.
serve you. Your name, please.
Ogunyemi Olushe.
Okay, you are welcome, sir. So I believe that you'll be able to utilize our platform, and you will not regret that you are using it, because many people that are even abroad are using it right now. They are using it to do their trade, but they are not in Nigeria, and they are making their gain, or even right from abroad. So you too, you can do the same thing. If you would like to have your information, you can drop it online. Mr. Festus, raising up your hand, please, you can speak. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I came a bit late into the webinar. A few times I may have some little funds that I want to invest. And I do read your research that is released almost on a weekly basis. The ones that have potential to rise and things like that. But sometimes, because most of us are not as that informed in some of the things that are written there.
Okay.
One might have a clarification. For instance, when you say a share has an upside or downside of so much percentage, usually I want to know, because if you are looking at a fair price that is likely to gain about 10% or more, for how long? You know, I need to know the time period I am looking at. If I buy this today, like we are talking of MTN, if it is currently trading at 198, and you say there is an upside of 10%, that means I can gain additional. Is it 1 year? Am I looking at 1 year down or 6 months down the line? So that definition of time, you know, I know everything is, we're talking of potential, it may not be actual, but at least we need to be guided on how long am I buying that and holding it before I can realize again. And in addition to that, if we have a question, there are things we read that we don't understand. Is there any particular person we can call on in Arthur Stevens who could, that we can engage probably on a phone call, on WhatsApp, or by mail, who will reply us and guide us as to the questions that you may have?
Yes.
Thank you.
Before I answer your question, I would like to also introduce us to something very, very important before I answer your question. If you go to our website, www.autosteven.com, there's a platform we have there now in order to reach our clients quickly. We just started using this platform. The platform is called Aziza. Aziza is a new platform, and it means that Auto Steven Instant Service Assistance. Auto Steven Instant Service Assistance. If you can mute your line now, please, if you're not talking, please. You can help us mute your line. Auto Steven Instant Service Assistance is a pop-up on our website. The pop-up on our website, whereby you can send instant message to us. And we have our staff, you can see, chat with us. We look at the website, it pop up now. You can see something like chat with us. You can just click on it and you can send message to us. And any of our staff, we get in touch with you instantly, and they will give you any information that you need. And apart from that, you can also reach us on any of our phone number, WhatsApp number. They are all very, very active. You can call us on any of the phone number. We will give you any information that you need, and we attend to you. Then regarding the issue of time on the downtime of stock, I want you to know that investment is not something that you put your money into and you go and sleep. And I've said it before in our last webinar. I know that some of you here are not privileged to be there. When you are starting a business in the market, I have not seen anybody that will just stop a job in the market and he will go to his house and say that business will be growing while I'm sleeping. It's not possible. You must always go there on daily basis to check, what am I gaining from this business? What is happening in this business? What are they even telling us? So these are the things that I say. So when you invest in any share, don't just fold your hands. There are times that the shares might even be going down, and you will need to take your decision that this share is going down. Let me just sell it up and take the money to somewhere else that this money might come from. Take, for instance, you discover that the First Bank is coming down. It's at 11 naira, and it's coming down at 10 naira, and you put it at 9 naira. Before this thing we get to 9 naira, I can see that it's coming down. Let me quickly sell it at this 10 naira. Then you take the money back to MTN, and you see that MTN has a potential of giving you 10% increase. If you are not monitoring it, there's no way you will know that all these things are happening. That's why whenever you are buying shares, that's why we give you a platform whereby you can have access to your stock on daily basis yourself. You can do it on your phone. You can do it while you are seated in your office. You can do it anywhere you are going to. So it's a platform that you can access on your mobile, on your laptop, anywhere, and you can monitor your investment on daily basis. Even at night, when you are in your house, maybe you are somebody that's very busy in the day, you can quickly log on to your online. What is the price say today? What did they do today? What is it? What exactly has it appreciated or not? So you can quickly check. So you don't just buy MTN like I'm advising everybody. You don't just buy MTN and go and sleep and say, wow, MTN is good. Let me just do it. Tomorrow it can crash because it is business. It's all about business. Tomorrow it can go up and also come down. But when you are monitoring, you can quickly come out of it and make your gain while you put the money into somewhere else. So the timing, I cannot tell you that this is the time that you can wait for, except you hear a news from somebody who have already told you. For instance, our research attempt do that. They will have already speculate. Okay, we have seen that this thing in the next 2 months is going to increase to so amount. Okay, you can work based on that and say, let's see. And sometimes all this are speculation as well, because you need to also monitor to see that what they actually said is moving up. If it is not moving up, because it's a speculation, something can come up tomorrow. There are a lot of things that can come up tomorrow that can change that speculation. So you cannot just base your speculation on, okay, they said that this thing is coming up, I buy it and I leave it there. You must also have your own part to play. That is, I hope that is very clear, sir.
Very clear. Thank you.
Okay. Any other person, please? Yes, I will hear from you. I want to believe that everybody is well clear on this. I don't know if Mr. has dropped his email because I've just dropped our email address now. Can reach us on our address or in the research of CBNG. If there's no any more question, please, we'd like to bring this meeting to an end. And I want to believe that you're all happy and know that you can trade on your own. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Mr. Odedino, thank you for joining.